It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and we'll play host to a battle between conferences. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New Orleans Saints on Thursday night primetime.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New Orleans Saints. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
Going to the air right away, Lawrence. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Lawrence will throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Now here's a Louisiana native from the town of Jennings. It's Travis Etienne. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, right back to Etienne. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Lawrence. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. They'll roll him out right. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone, first down. That's a great example right there to remind everyone of what a weapon he can be as a mobile quarterback, Charles. Nice play to escape the pocket and get his offense into the red zone with a first down.
And defensive coaches losing their mind on that play because they knew about his mobility coming in, and they preached all week long. If he gets outside the pocket, find receivers in your area and cover them. Otherwise, plays like that will continue to result.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On second down, a run with Etienne. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Jags put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And Evan Ingram able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And he'll just get rid of it.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. And Dalton to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll take it.
That was a first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Let's go. Let's go right here.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
ETN up the middle, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the 1st down." They love being physical.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Lawrence. Taken down here by the Saints. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
For the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now Lawrence. And able to find Kirk complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 39. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down.
Someone's sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought,
blitz coming, and down he goes. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known this time a sack. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield. And oftentimes, the QB ends up on his backside as he did there.
And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Lawrence. And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defense in front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Andy Dalton. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing, Dalton. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. Here's Blake Gillikin now. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They go play action with Lawrence. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Lawrence to throw. A slant to Jones. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Lawrence to throw. Open man right side is Ingram. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Eight yards to go on 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. And go in the books is a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. 1st and 10 for Dalton. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A give to Kamara running right. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Dalton. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
To kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. This is caught. It's Kirk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Etienne on the toss right. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got it.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Lawrence will throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes we talk about coverage, we also talk about the defender running with the receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Kamara. Six yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Dances by him.
And a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Here's Dalton. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we're always talking about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
2nd and 12.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. Alvin Kamara wheeling it in on back-to-back plays. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Play action now, Dalton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball at any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1. And I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
To kick it away.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Now Lawrence on first down. That one complete downfield to Kirk.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
From midfield now, Lawrence.
They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
2nd and 2. Now Lawrence.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Lawrence going to throw again. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
So he stopped for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for Jacksonville in that first half. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Saints, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. And the Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Well, they've got the lead, but it's certainly not a big one. And how do you keep control of that lead? Certainly not by that last play there. They gave up a big sack on the first play of this drive. Now it's double the distance to the first down marker.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now it's Kamara in the passing game, and he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Back to Kamara for another catch. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Agnew now to return. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Now ETN to start the drive. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Lawrence.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Finds the open target, Arnold. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
They gave him the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
It's showtime, baby. Let's go.
They go play action now. Lawrence.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They overloaded that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Absolutely going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Here's Lawrence.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game.
58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you want, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw here, Dalton. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it 21 yards.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. A 10th carry for Kamara.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Dalton. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Here's Dalton. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Jaguars are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. On play action, Lawrence. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A 3rd quarter now to 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
Looking downfield for Jones. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. And even 100 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Dalton. He gets it to Thomas.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Second down and 3.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll take this one down to about the 40.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Big 3rd down, a field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer. The busy night continues for Kamara, and he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a 1st down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Kamara up the middle.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The Saints on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing, Dalton. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 16. The third down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. Touchdown, Saints.
Adam Prentice.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
A big spot now for the Saints as they'll indeed go for 2. Here's Dalton to throw for it. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Touchdown, wants to kick it off.
And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line.
Lawrence will throw.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them to completion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now Lawrence to throw.
He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. But tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Travis Etienne
Taking it in from the 20.
And the Jaguars are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Extra point try now for Patterson.
And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line.
And all deep in his own territory, coughs up the football. And the Jags grab it. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone.
As that ball got away from him, he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
The previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that would overturn. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
7 yards there with a first down screen play.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Dalton, Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give. This is Kamara.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 41, Dalton. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 39. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And Dalton to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Passing, it's Dalton. That's complete to his running back, Kamara.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I was used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot, but we get in these situations and they were carrying us home. I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher, and all night long he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now. A huge 3rd down conversion. A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And out of bounds right around the 20. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara.
And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 130 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he's not going to get anywhere close close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Lutz is good, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Following the main field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars.
Down 17-14. A little over 80 ticks to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10.
Lawrence.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Back to throw. Lawrence. Able to find Jones.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first. And it's second down.
Throwing now, Lawrence into the hands of Ingram. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here's Lawrence.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
He's back to throw. Flush to his right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
So they'll try to move the ball closer here on third down. A field goal from this spot would be just inside of 60 yards, 59 to be exact. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Fourth down now defensively. Charles, is asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So it's the Saints who are going to be in position to get the ball first as we are back underway and set for overtime. And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing again on second down. Dalton, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Andy Dalton. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
Here comes the Saints punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
First throw of overtime for Trevor Lawrence.
Finds his tight end Ingram. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence.
That's going to be caught by Kirk.
Lawrence finding Kirk there for the Jaguar first.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
ETN up the middle. Oh, good move. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Open man right side is Ingram. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 27-yard line. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
And out of bounds right around the 20. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Well, right now, every little bit of yardage helps, and they're obviously well within his range. It's just about keeping the football and getting in the right spot.
Know your kicker. Get, as you mentioned, get it to the right spot, the place that he wants to kick it from. And if you do decide to throw the football, it either goes to your team or no one. It's the only kind of throw you make.
And trying to shake free, but ETN cannot. The defense will stop him short.
But I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Going for it, here's ETN.
And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Saints will have the football back. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient.